Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VIII. Last time we fetched the princess. Well, it's not all we did, but it's the most recent thing we did anyway. And here we have introductions. Zell and Selphie, who up until, you hit the text box there, they just they're on break over there and they don't react at all, which is kind of funny. Anyway, we have meeting time. So we're going to go over whatever the plan is. And I don't know why, but that just always seems weird from Zell, where he goes from completely relaxed to running instead of just walking to the door. Oddly enough, you don't actually want to go there yet if you want some interesting dialogue, which is through here. Clipping in the conference room. Anarchist Monthly. Special reports about the president. Oh, he got taken away to prison. Being in prison for telling the truth. Yeah. And I'm not going to flat out list examples, but the world is scary these days, isn't it? Forest owls are. Oddly enough, this is the only time, and yeah, Squall gets a graphical glitch here for whatever reason, but this is the only time you can get this dialogue, because if you go into the meeting room, you lose out on any of the dialogue that you get here because everyone switches to different dialogue. So, anyway. Founded by Zone and Watts' father, huh? Or their fathers. I don't think they're brothers, but... For the invasion was an all-out hunt for resistance members. They both died protecting everyone in the city. Oh, well that's rather dark. I can imagine. That must have been traumatizing. That's despicable. Yeah, I can imagine why you would get behind that story. That's just pure evil. And if you talk to him again, you get a little bit more. They get the job done. Trying to live up to the Founding Fathers. You want to know how Rinoa and Cypher met each other? Or how they know each other, I guess. You don't know anything. What are you talking about? Do you want to know this? Yeah, sure. And then you don't tell me. You're useless. Anyway, in order to get any of that dialogue, you have to go there between Rinoa popping out here and before coming in here, which is a very short window. Anyway, are you ready for the worst of all of these mission briefings in the entire game? By a lot? Too bad we're doing it anyway. Resistance the Forest Owls will forever be known in the pages of Timber's independence. If you say so. You've got info. We've got information Shinra. Super VIP, huh? Well, we kind of heard about this guy. He's the president. He's a dictator, which would explain why they were saying that all of this happened 18 years ago. So it would explain why now, that he's still president. I'm not sure what the rules are there, but most rules that I'm aware of in and around different areas of the world don't let people stay in power that long unless they are dictators. Taking a private train. Our plan is to blow it to smithereens with a rocket launcher. Okay, Selphie is now my favorite character. Selphie, you are quite awesome. Shall we begin? Please no. Don't focus too much on the words. I'm going to go through this relatively quickly because it doesn't really matter. Also, if you're actually reading that, you may notice that some of the buttons don't work properly, or the text doesn't show up properly. I have a feeling that this is part to do with the Lunatic Pandora mod, because one of the mods in there puts the button icons into the game when originally they were just showing up as letters on a keyboard, you know, just in green. But yeah, there's a couple of these. They screw up some of the numbers for some reason. I don't really know why. Basically, the plan is we have a dummy car, we're going to switch it with the president's car. And yeah, they go through this. It takes quite a while for them to kind of explain things. But yeah, it's easier to kind of go over it on my own and pay more attention to what's going on as far as the animations go. Because yeah, we're separating the trains. And Selfie's talking about game over and big booms. So yeah, don't screw up is basically what they're telling you. But yeah, we separate one of them, we pull another train in its place, and we latch them back together. Don't ask me how this is supposed to work in any kind of reality. We're just gonna have to go Final Fantasy logic on this one because it doesn't make any sense. But yeah. So yeah, we take them a little further on, then we uncouple them, and we shift the president's vehicle, or the president's car, over there, and put the dummy one in its place, and that's it. We have 5 minutes to complete these things. Kind of. You get more than enough time. You shouldn't have any problem with this. Should only take 3 minutes. Now, they're talking about how to avoid guards with sensors. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, ignore the sensor thing, because the sensors don't work. The sensor is only on one screen, the way I understand it, and it doesn't work. So don't worry about it. Basically, they're saying if you stay still, the red guard gets you because he has a temperature sensor, and then the blue one will get you if you go too fast because he's got a motion sensor or some such bullshit. I don't know. How do you avoid them? Yeah, they say to do these things, you just run. That's it. You don't have to do anything. They cycle through the animations multiple times if you were trying to figure out what's going on screen. But yeah, this is probably the longest tutorial mission briefing thing in the game. It's not particularly interesting, it's not very well explained, and it's very, very tedious. So Squall's going to enter codes, which is how we're going to decouple these trains. That's kind of the basics of the way things work. Now, I left things alone because if you look at the buttons there, this is not the way that it would have normally worked before. Actually, I think, did it keep my thing? Because I did a practice on this a few minutes ago, and if you have the button set the way I did earlier, it puts the 1 up at the top and the 4 to the circle position, and it screws me up in my head, and so I had to go and fix it, basically. Well, basically what it did is it would show the triangle button over in the 1 position and the circle button at the 4 position, meaning that I had to twist them around in my head before I could input the codes. So unfortunately you don't get to see that because for some reason in the file, like I loaded up the file, I changed the thing, and I did this in practice 10 minutes ago, and then I reset, and apparently it saved my changes. I'm not sure exactly why that's happened. But anyway, they're going to give us codes, 4, 1, 2, 2, and then they're going to give us another code, 2244. Do be careful, there's a little bit of input delay there. 3, 4, what was it, 1, 3? And with that input delay, you can kind of get off pace and end up inputting the wrong code if you try and go too fast. So just kind of wait for the little blinking light for the indicator to pop up, and that's your indication that you're actually able to do things. Renoa made the dummy train, though. Bought everything at the gift store. I thought a kid make it. Paint job sucks. Even Squall's getting in on it. You made it look that way on purpose. Represents your hatred toward Delling. Wow. Selfie with the burn. Enough with the model. Yeah, we had the model line in the previous episode. I don't think we need to do it again. You understood? Yes, do not explain that again. Gathering information is my specialty. He's out, and he's got cramps again. So yeah, their party is completely useless. So they came up with this bad plan, and that's it. Talk to Watts when you're ready. Before doing that, the guy we spoke to said something about a magazine. Now, it doesn't matter, you can talk to here or anywhere along here, just talk to the same spot repeatedly, and it'll give you the 4 different anarchist monthly things that we can read. The Dictator President, Windsor Delling Special. How does he stay in power? We reveal his dark secrets. And then they don't. Became the president after the Second Sorceress War. Gaining support quickly, he carried out the invasion of Timber. Only a ploy to decorate an already corrupt man's immoral career. Timber was brutally destroyed. Third issue. To imprison anti-government sympathizers, the D District Prison was built in a desert south of Delling City. Millions were spent, not sent, to build the facility. The threat of being sent to prison intensified his unpopularity. Prison began imprisoning, bad phrasing, Galbadia anti-government sympathizers just as they did in Timber. Moreover, the leaders of the resistance movements faced the threat of having family members imprisoned as well. Around this time, he began surrounding himself with loyalists, which turned him into an even more fierce dictator. And the final issue, apparently they only had 4. With the exception of Esthar, the Galbadian military possesses the world's only long-range missiles. Although never used in combat, their existence has become a worldwide threat. It said that missiles have the ability to hit any target with astounding accuracy, even without using radio signals. Time comes for the president to push the button. When the time comes... What? Print is blurred out. Okay, sure. I'm not sure if they're specifically taking jabs at anyone in real life with the missile thing, but this game did come out at the end of the 90s, so you never know. You made the dummy president. Talks if you get close enough. Hope it'll trick the guards. Yeah, you already said that. Yeah, if you get close to this guy, you're in a bad mood right now. Looks real, huh? No one will ever realize it's a fake. Okay, fine, whatever. Gonna have the dummy hold a newspaper. That way his face is covered and no guard will dare look over the paper after what we programmed him to say. Okay. Yeah, you already said that. This, I believe, is the only opportunity to get that dialogue as well, and it's the only opportunity to pick up the second Pet Pals magazine. Now, oh yeah. No, so the button things were still set wrong. Which is weird, because they didn't... Interesting. Yeah. No, that makes sense. So yeah, the when I was saying there that the buttons were set, I had to change the button setup. I actually did here, and it somehow saved. So you want the circle button set to menu, and the triangle button set to walk or cancel in order to make the things organized properly. And if you don't do that, like I said, it'll put the triangle or the triangle button will be paired with like the one on the right where the circle button is on the controller, and it just makes it very confusing. But anyway, so I basically switched up any of my controller bindings for that, I guess. And one other thing, you know what? We can do that after. We'll do some other things first. Let's go do this. You know what? I'm gonna save. Yeah, I definitely don't want to have to redo that if I screw something up. Yeah, we took a look over there. Are you ready? Yeah, we're ready. But yeah, make sure you make that change. If you don't make that change, it'll just be more and more difficult to do this. And you don't want to make it any more difficult than it already is. Like, it's not difficult, but it's tedious. I'm going to skim through the dialogue a little bit. Not that we need all the time. The option will show up. Just press the X button at the end of the thing there. This is where they had the temperature and the movement sensors, but all you have to do is run across. And that's it. They spent time preparing this, and then it doesn't work. But yeah, so that's what happens. I kind of like the way they stop and then take a jump, because it makes more sense in terms of physics, but it's tedious that it slows down movement over little things like that. 27 times! You don't need to report that many times, dude. You really don't. You're the president! Why do you put up with this nonsense? Weird. Well, I was already had it in my mind to say, it's like, you can't actually just kill his salary, but if he's a dictator, I guess he can probably do whatever the hell he wants, can't he? Oh, I guess you're not getting married anytime soon. Alright, so there's two guards here. Selfie and Zell will keep an eye on the guards. You could press the L1 button to look over, but since they're going to call out whether one of them's coming anyway, you don't really need to. Yeah, so you can press L1 if you want to. I know how to do the codes, that's fine. So yeah, once, like, it's going to flash a lot of times, because anytime I press the down button on my controller, I'm using the joy to key, and so it's technically using a keyboard key instead of the game thing. Anyway, but yeah, we're going to go press down to go down and enter the code. 4 minutes. Alright, 4212. We got one in. Next one, 3442. Alright, I don't know if you can do the third one or not, so I'm going to go up. You probably have enough time to, but they both come over pretty much at the same time. Just wait until they disappear from the window there, and then we can go down. 2, 2, 2, and 1. Easy enough. I'm pretty sure you can do all three at once. I meant to test that when I was testing this out a few minutes ago, but I didn't. What the hell is Squall doing there? Woo! Again, you can control your character during the cutscene, and I just like making Squall be a complete jackass. Whee! He's still being an idiot. I am like 3 years old, by the way, in case you couldn't figure it out. Not gonna like it, but it's your job. You don't know where he got the paper? Oh, right, this guy. Yeah, he's none too happy. You better get the hell out of here. You've lost 2 paychecks in 1 day. Hopefully you get paid weekly at least. Though the way it sounded, he got paid monthly, which sounds terrible. Interior looks different. Trevor, maybe not. No more candlelight dinner. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna have a good time with this. Alright, so there's 2 guards in this car. They're up ahead. So they're doing something else, and Selfie and Zell can't help you this time. So this time you're all on your own. So basically what you need to do here is we need to go down, and this time we need to do 5 codes instead of 3. So we go down, and then hold R1 and just leave it over here the whole time. 4, 4, 2, 4. And just pay attention when they start moving over. 3, 4, 2, 1. I could probably... I might have been able to make it. Thing is, they tend to kind of move together. The red guard runs and the blue guard walks. So once the blue guard starts heading over, you know you probably want to hold off. Once he gets out of the way, you can go back down. So we have 1, 1, 2, 2. These are random in each game, so you won't get the same codes as I do. 1, 4, 2, 4. And you can't go up while you're inputting a code, by the way. So 2, 3, 1, 2. And there's the last one. And then Squall automatically goes up there. And then... I'm going the wrong way. I know where I'm going. Go this way. There we go. See? Squall's still an idiot. Raiders. Now they've, I guess someone else somewhere has switched the train tracks so that other things go as planned. They never said who's doing that. I'm guessing Zone or Watts is working on it. Waited so long for this encounter. Now, if you do that perfect, your seed rank goes up by 1. If you fail, you'll get a dialogue box with an option. One option is you'll try it again. Another one says, I failed, it's all over. If you do that one, you get game over and you have to reload your file. The other one, if you select that, you get to do over. They give you more time. They make it easier for you. Give you more hints on how to do it. And you can get... basically, if you fail, I think it's between 1 and 9 times, nothing happens to your seed level. If you fail the 10th time, then your seed level drops by 1. So I'm guessing you lose 10 seed points or whatever with each one, is my guess anyway. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but... And he's useless. So he's out. As soon as you're ready, we'll begin serious negotiations with the president. Yeah, we should probably check that, but why would you tell us that? It's not like we should have any problems. Well, for some stupid reason, after we get out of the Laguna sequence, they unequip GFs to Zell and Selfie. Squall still has his. But anyway, let's go to the config, and we're going to fix that so that's not terrible anymore. Thank you. And then we're going to... Do you have anything to say? Not yet. What do you say? You're going to keep watching from there. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go up here. I'm going to set up my GFs and the abilities I'm learning. Do you guys have anything interesting to say? Okay, you say the same thing. But anyway, I'm going to set myself up, and next time we're going to take on, well, I guess we're going to talk and have serious negotiations with the president. Let's see, was there anything else I wanted to note? Well, we're going to do one thing at the start of the next episode, but I'll do that after I've set everything up, because it'll make more sense. But anyway, that's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.